issues. We're having a massive storm over here. So let's just start with our opening prayer, and then I'm going to jump straight into our angel readings. Okay, let me just set up our other live as well. Gosh, look at how much I've grown doing tech without freaking out so much. Okay. Oh, great Spirit, Father Sky, Mother Earth, the winds, the waters, my Father, my Mother, Atanaha, all that is. We thank you for our lives, and we thank you for these good people. We thank you for all that we are and all that we are to become. We dedicate our time spent together and our relationships with one another to you. We ask that our suffering be ended and our pain be lifted to the love and to the peace that lay beyond. Aho, Amen, Namaste. Okay, let's dive straight into our angel readings. Okay, boom, boom, boom. Where were we? Okay, Prem is saying, hi, Skylar. Thank you for doing this. I'm sick again. Not sure if it's flu or COVID. Could you please see what's going on that lowers my energy and I get sick? Thank you. Lots of love. There's something around romantic arguments going on here. The moment I'm scanning you, I'm seeing Archangel Raphael coming in. He only comes in when there's not lack of harmony in either intimate or family relationships. So it's arguments that are stopping you from like it's really lowering your energy for days at a time, and there really comes an energy of just wanting to be left alone and nobody understands you or gets you. So anywhere where people are arguing or emotionally abusing you, can we release that now? Anywhere where that's making you feel unworthy of the good in your life, there we go. There we go. And I'm going to command an instant healing on your nervous system and on your immune system. You have a right to exist, even if other people are angry with you. There we go. Ooh. I'm just going to pull the belief, I have a right to exist, no, and replace it with I have a right to exist, yes. Okay. Next one. Carol saying, hi Skylar, thank you for doing these readings. Would appreciate the angels and their guidance on when and how I will meet my divine life partner. Thank you so much. Hope all is wonderful with you. Carol, I'm immediately seeing the beach. Like they're literally showing me you spending more time in nature, and your soulmate is an outdoorsman. He really enjoys being outside and like taking long walks. There's when like I'm just checking because sometimes beaches can be deceptive. Okay, so when I'm asking when, I'm actually seeing like they're actually showing me years, which makes me think that you need to sit down and do some work on your fear of being in another romantic relationship, and what you can change time. Okay, I was actually in the Facebook Theta Healing group a couple of days ago, and they were saying that some healer hadn't been able to change their divine timing, and I was like, yeah, because you can't change divine timing. You can change timings in your life, but divine timing by its nature is specific, right? So when it comes to meeting your soulmate, you can change the time you meet your soulmate, okay? But there's real energy work and belief work to do there around being afraid of being in a relationship because your heart has been badly broken. You guys might want to muscle test the belief that you have to like your emotions would kill you. You can't handle it. Another round of heartbreak would kill you. The truth is your feelings won't kill you. Not feeling them might, but your feelings won't. It might hurt and you might have to cry your eyes out for a night, but your feelings won't kill you. Repressing them might, because then they become diseases and other things. So please, no more repressing. It's not good juju. Okay, let me have a quick look on Insta. Hi, everybody. Hi, Maya. Hi, Tona. Okay, hi Sky, would love a reading. When can I meet my divine soulmate partner? I'm 43 and feeling under pressure. Okay, it's the second one with soulmate. I'm getting Archangel Shamuel coming in here, that I can immediately see the armor. There's so much armor on your solar plexus and on your heart. So can we just take the energetic armor off? The poor soulmate is trying to get to you and you are all armored up. So anywhere where you have emotional armor, spiritual armor, let's show you that you don't need, your armor is God's light. Your armor is Archangel Michael's sword. You don't need to literally be wearing heavy metal plates on your energy body. There we go. Okay, so now what they're showing me, Mother Mary's coming in really strong, and she's showing me that you have to work on mother trauma. There's just watching your mum go through what she went through on her own, mothering you really, there's a really strong unconscious, it's wall that I'm seeing here that's like, I don't want to do that. I don't, I will never let myself be in that situation. That's the vow. And it's blocking you from being able to make your choices. Because whenever we're making a choice from a place of trauma, we're not really doing what we want. We're living from the wound, right? So you want to have a look at what happened with her raising you, that you thought that you wouldn't be able to survive that, or you wouldn't be able to deal with that. And you were like, that's never going to happen to me. No one's ever going to disrespect me like that. No one's ever going to take away my opportunities like that. I'm never going to be left behind holding the baby like that. This energy of that I'm never letting a man treat me like that, period. And the Carl Jung said the most powerful influence in our lives is the unlived dreams of our parents, right? So it was her dream to be free, right? So even if it wasn't verbal, it was her dream to be free. So that's what you have to work on, is living your own life instead of your mom, but also looking at, it's not conscious. It might even be on the DNA level, but there's a very strong wall that's like, that will never happen to me, around mother trauma. Okay. Okay, Maria's saying, hi Sky, what do I have to change in myself to have a good life and soulmate healthy relationship? I'm exhausted. Thank you. My love, I like, they're really showing me, it's like I'm getting the card from the mermaid deck in my head, the time to move on deck. You have to raise your self-worth. You really have to raise your self-worth. You are pulling in people who have absolutely no respect for you, and for your emotional health or physical health. And self-worth, financial worth, emotional worth. Your angels are saying this is now no longer something that you can put off. You need to make your work on yourself a priority. So a lot of people, when they do spiritual work, what they do is they they do it intellectually, and then they never actually follow their divine guidance, and they don't actually make the changes that they're guided to make. And I saw this so much in every modality that I worked with, is that somebody would have like, imagine their inner child in front of them, but avoid actually connecting with their inner child, and have their angels in front of them, but avoid actually taking their guidance seriously. So they would find ways of sabotaging the session while still getting the knowledge. And then they'd be like, oh, I worked on this. And they'd be able to like make a list of the things that they needed, that should have been cleared, or that they needed to do, but they wouldn't be able to then have the courage to actually take that action, because the taking divine action is an emotional muscle. It's not an intellectual knowing. It's an emotional muscle. So you can't intellectualize spiritual growth. It's an emotional and a spiritual exercise. So if you're really calm and you never want to throw a book against a wall and you never ever have an emotional response during a healing, it's because you're bypassing um, the 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 growth that comes with the sessions. And also, like, human beings, we're, because of worthiness, we like to feel like we've earned something, and very often we just don't think, not so much that we haven't worked hard enough, but we don't recognize all the hard work we've done. We just don't get it because we haven't let ourselves feel the feelings or remember just how hard it was. And it's Brené Brown that really says, if you are not willing to be vulnerable enough to remember how difficult situations were in your past, then you are not going to have the capacity to be compassionate and vulnerable with clients, or even with yourself, with other people in the present, right? Let me put it this way. If my son falls off his bike, in order for me to have real empathy and real compassion, I have to go back to that time in my childhood where I wanted more than anything to impress my parents, and I wanted more than anything to be able to ride a bike. And I remember falling and hurting myself, and how much it shook me, and me thinking maybe I'm never going to be able to ride this bike. Now, as an adult, it's like a tiny problem. As a child, it's the end of your world, right? And you have to go back to that child in you and go, wow, he's so brave, and this is so hard, in order for you to be able to understand or have empathy for what they're going through, right? So vulnerability is directly proportional to your capacity to be with your own suffering at different stages of your journey, right? Same thing with my clients. When I'm dealing with clients that are getting their first psychic client or setting up their first spiritual business, I am now, 12 years in to doing my divine life purpose. So many things that come naturally to me or feel easy to me on a daily basis, um, they're really, really struggling with. And every time I do that session, in order to have that deep empathy and compassion, I have to tap into that part of me that was terrified that I wouldn't be financially supported, that was terrified that I didn't have anything to offer the world, that was terrified that I'd lose my whole family, and that people would make fun of me or humiliate me. I have to go back to the times where I would organize an event and my knees shook because I thought no one would come. I have to go back to the times where I ran my business like a hobby instead of like a business, because I really believed that it would never provide for me. I have to go back to those times where I thought I was going to stay in theta or stay in EFT or stay in hypnosis, because I didn't think I had a modality in me. I have to go back to all those times where I thought I was going to write a book and then didn't. And I left those books on my hard drive because I was too ashamed to let anybody see them. And I have to feel that, right? So that I can really be present with what they're going through. Otherwise, my ego mind is like, well, yeah, that's easy. It's easy now, after I've gone through that emotional musculature and I take those muscles for granted. Vulnerability comes from being able to go back to that place before you had that emotional and spiritual muscle, before you had that virtue, and being able to be deeply present with where someone else is, right? And that doesn't mean you're taking on their stuff, but you have to get it. That's the definition of compassion. That's the definition of respect. That's the definition of understanding, is you being able to say to somebody, yes, where you are is really hard. I get it. And we can do hard things together. There is nothing that God cannot do with us, and we're going to move through that. If that makes sense. Okay. Okay, energy break. Hi, Skylar. Please, can you ask if I'm making a decision to end old business in order to start clean financially? A deal to clear my debt, and then I can start a new business, bigger and better with investment. Yes, 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 yes. Your angels are going boom, 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 boom. I can literally see like lots of golden stars around. So yes, it's well done for finding the courage to do that. I know how much courage it takes to close an old business and start a new one, and what a big decision that is. So a lot of kudos to you for finding the courage to take full financial responsibility and create a completely new energetic space. Initially, I will work from home doing deliveries to keep my brand growing. Yeah, that's okay. It's totally okay, but it's important to clear those debts and draw a clean state. Hi, Sky. I kindly ask you and the angels and Creator to regenerate for all times. I have made a journey to follow my life path as a female healer, and it's been traumatic, both on an energy level, spiritual, physical, and economic, financial, and relationships, especially the last 7 years, or as Creator best advises. Also, kindly in the organizational family constellation, look, there is no the line between abundance and poverty. The line, you want to know what the line is? Courage. That's the line. Okay. The line between abundance and poverty is courage. And it's a heart line. That's why the word cœur in French is the word for heart. And it's also the same for where the word for cœur and courage comes from. Right. When you're talking about being supported by a spiritual business, you have to take it seriously as a business. You can't just show up when it's convenient. You have to show up on a daily basis. If you're not showing up visually, on different medias and platforms, you have to actually show up energetically for your clients and for the work that you do. You have to meditate every day. You have to come from a place of trusting you're going to be provided for. A lot of us, because of the school system, are waiting for validation. We're waiting for a teacher. We're waiting for a person to give us business advice. We're waiting for someone to say, yes, you are good enough. Yes, you are good enough. Yes, you are good enough. The person you are waiting for is you. Okay. If you are not telling yourself that you're good enough, that your business matters, that you have something to offer the world, your clients are psychic. They can feel you feeling like you can't help them. They can feel you thinking that you're not good enough. They can feel you. And what happens is, right, when we are in suffering, we become self-absorbed. When we're suffering, we're thinking about us not being able to do it, and what's the client going to think of us, and are we going to be able to get more clients? And we're not actually present. We're not actually loving the client. And then guess what? The session doesn't get you the results that you want, right? You can't be in a place of financial fear and financial faith at the same time. They're mutually exclusive. The line between them is faith. There is no middle ground. You're either in love or you're in fear. That's one of the biggest things Course in Miracles taught me, is that it's an illusion that there is a fence, right? That there's a no man's land. It's an illusion. You're either in love or you're in fear. The way to cross is courage. There is no other way, right? But it is scary, but either you deal with the pain of changing and finding the courage to be who you really are, or you deal with the pain of regret that never having fulfilled your purpose. And this is a bitch, but wherever you go, there you are. Right? So everything that comes up for you around being successful, following your divine life purpose, will come up for you in a 9 to 5 job. You'll still stay at the same level and the same plateau. And the reason being, if you don't believe in yourself, nobody's ever going to believe in you. Right? The world is a mirror of our internal space. So it's in that energy, you are a spiritual teacher, you are a master theta healer. It's time to really drop all the excuses. Anywhere where you're making, and I've heard them all, the more clever you are, the more excuses your ego makes, right? I've genuinely heard them all, even from myself. No high horse here, but the reality is, no excuses, no responsibility, no responsibility, no growth. No growth and no excitement, right? You lose your passion about life. And of course there's trauma in being a spiritual teacher. There's trauma in being any kind of teacher. And in this world, you're dealing, especially when you're dealing with wounded people, because wounded people wound people, right? But healed people heal people. And you get the best of both worlds, but there is no career that doesn't have a difficult side to it. You're going to have to navigate it. If you're in the office, you will still have to deal with office bullying or office politics. If you are if you are going into spiritual teaching to avoid having to deal with difficult situations, you're in the wrong job. The nature of spiritual teaching is that we solve very advanced spiritual, emotional, and financial problems for people on an energetic, emotional, and practical level. It's a problem-solving job. People will bring you their biggest problems, often that they've tried to solve with many other people before, and expect you to be able to solve them, right? So it takes a huge amount of trust. So anywhere where you're making excuses, can we release that, please? And anywhere where you're avoiding taking responsibility, just let your angels give you tiniest kick up the butt. And Look, this is genuinely what I do. Whenever my life isn't going where I want it to go, which happens on a weekly basis, the question I ask myself is simple. Where am I not following my divine guidance? And the moment I start following my divine guidance, everything falls into place. Okay? So it's important to start following your divine guidance. Okay, here we go. It's so good to hear about the armor. I had similar guidance last week. Yeah, sometimes you can just take it off, but sometimes you have to go and look at why you put it there. Okay? Okay, Sarah Burney saying, Hi Sky, I'm supposed to be learning to come out of wolf mode in this life and experience fulfilling relationships instead. What do my angels say about venturing towards people again? Thank you. Yeesh. Today the theme seems to be about responsibility, and immediately I had Archangel Raphael come in, and it's rare I have him come in to talk about responsibility. Um, but especially as women, we're taught that somebody's coming to rescue us. And that person is God. It's not a man. It's not a business partner. What you need to work on is this belief that you are not competent to build an incredible life. And that is going to make you attract the best people around you. But when you think that you aren't going to be able to create an incredible life, then you attract people it's from a place of desperation. Like, if I partner with them, then my life will get better, as opposed to we would make an amazing team. It comes from this energy of I'm the weight and they're the motor, as it were. You want to come into a space understanding that you are a gift, understanding that you have something important to contribute. And this one's very near and dear to my heart. So there's two companies that I joined, one of which I'm the reason that it was even created. But in my youth, I really didn't understand that I was a valuable contributor. I really had such low self esteem. So it's working on that belief that you can create an incredible life by yourself, that you don't need someone to do it for you or with you. Um, and it comes from the core belief, I can do it alone. No, and I would go back into childhood to see who taught you that you can't do it alone. And it's often mothers or teachers. And also the belief that being made to do things alone is a punishment, because very often we weren't allowed to play with the other children, or we were sent up to our rooms, or we were the only person to do an activity when we were being punished. And everything that was like a reward was with other people, right? So it's about really realizing that you can do it alone, and then it's a choice to include other people. But your success is not dependent on the other people. Your success is because of the energy you're bringing and the contribution you're making and the value that you're adding. And then they are another strength to come in, as opposed to they are the strength and you are the weakness, right? You are the strength too. That's the shift that you're trying to make. So anywhere that you're thinking that you are not strong enough, can we release this, please? Do not come into a business or a relationships place from the belief of I'm incompetent, I don't know what I'm doing. You know, in law school, they teach you innocence is not a defense, right? It's one of the hardest things for me to accept when I was studying in Scotland. I couldn't get my head around that. I was like, but if you didn't know, how can it still be, how can it still be a crime? And the reality is that you can do something that hurts others without knowing that you're doing it, right? So it's the same thing. Do not come into any relational space from a place of I don't know what I'm doing. If you feel like you don't know what I'm doing, then you better go study. You better go learn. You better go and raise your own bar. Your expectations should be higher for yourself than anybody else in the room. Okay. And you will still fail, but you'll fail less. It will hurt less. And at least you'll understand why you failed, as opposed to being there going, I have no idea what happened, and kind of being completely bamboozled. Okay, I'm gonna check out Instagram because I feel like I've neglected you guys today. Ooh. Hi, Skylar. Thank you for doing this. Blessings. I would like to have your guidance in my situation. I've lost smell and taste for 2 years and wonder that it is repairable and what I need to do. Okay, so let's just start by sending an instant healing to your taste buds and to your smell. And we're just going to command your nervous system to regrow. Okay, that's looking good. There's a trick that some of you guys have probably heard me talk about before. You can find this on YouTube videos, an African um, remedy where you take an orange and you put it in the fire until the whole of the outside of the orange becomes black with charcoal, and then you eat the outside of the charcoaled orange. That's supposed to restore taste and smell. And my husband used it after he lost his taste and smell after a bad virus last year, and he had to do it twice, and then all of his taste and smell came back. But it's a very effective remedy. But one of the most powerful things, because, like, for example, I'll give you an example. After I had my C-section with my baby boy, a lot of the nerves, from down to my vajayjay were harmed, or they were not, they were just numb, and I had to command my body to recreate, reconnect, restructure those nerves so that I could get feeling back in those areas again, right? And there's like beliefs in the medical profession that they will never heal, whereas my paradigm is that everything heals. My whole body knows how to heal. So it's using that energy so that you can tell your body what to do. So if you're telling your body, I have no taste, I have no smell, you want to start giving it clear instructions: recreate my taste, recreate my smell. And that's what you want to be saying to yourself after you sleep. That's what you want to be saying to yourself first thing in the morning. The places where your mind is the softest, you want to be giving your body clear instructions what to do. Your body does what you tell it to do. You want to be following those clear instructions. Okay, hi. I want to take action. Should I take from my new healing work to get more clients effortlessly? Okay, so I'm going to give you the angel version of this. Your job is to love your clients. This idea of getting anything effortlessly only comes from love, right? Clients will find you, word of mouth will find you, but I wouldn't say that, like, my whole business was run from word of mouth, but I wouldn't say it was effortless. There was a lot of Tuesday night talks, almost 6 years worth of events before I really started to have a solid off the ground reputation. There were literally hundreds of scans and healings and angel readings like I'm doing right now. So I think that okay, I'm just going to say, I think that what a lot of people sell is what's sexy instead of what's true. I believe that you have to put in regular daily effort in serving the divine. And it's not hard work, it's just different. I love doing angel readings. I love connecting with you guys, but it certainly isn't effortless. It takes work, it takes time, it takes dedication. And then from the good work that you do, people will talk. Your what you give out comes back to you, and it starts to get momentum, kind of like a snowball going down the hill. But do I believe in this whole effortless wealth thing? Unless it's inherited, and even then, it tends to come with a lot of drama. I think that everything that we have should come from worthiness, but that's different than effortless. Okay, so can I show you that you are worthy of complete wealth, and that what you see other people doing, often, especially when they say they're doing it effortlessly, yeah, it's effortless now after years of them putting in the work. All right. I was working with a coach last year who told me like everything's easy for her now. But then when I was actually looking back on her Facebook and talking to people who were around her when she started, she went through almost 3 years of not watching any television, of getting up at 4 or 5 o'clock in the morning, of putting her work above everything else. And she wasn't putting any of that in, obviously the social or even how she was teaching. But what was required for her to get to the level of success that she had and the grace that she had, where everything looked effortless now, was definitely not easy or effortless. Okay. So it's that energy of understanding that what people are selling as spiritual and the reality is often two very different things. Don't be ashamed of putting in the work. Don't be ashamed of making it a priority. Don't think you're not in alignment with spirit because it's not happening like this. I've never seen somebody do it without having to actually start to show up and serve the universe. And when you serve the universe serves you back. Okay, that's how I've had it happen over and over and over again in my life. Okay. B saying, hi, Skylar. Recently, I met 3 soulmates. Good for you. I'm not sure which one. I'm not sure which one to go with, but I feel probably neither of them. Is that the case? When or how will I meet the one? Okay, so it's not none of them. You're gonna have to make a choice, right? It's just that none of your soulmates are. You're comparing them to the ideal man in your head, and your soulmate is not the ideal man in your head. Your soulmate is another human being. So what you have to ask yourself is which of these soulmates is the most compatible soulmate, and what you have to work on is your perfectionism. Okay, but it's definitely one of these 3. So you have a choice to make, darling, and the angels can't make it for you. I'm afraid you have to make the choice yourself. Okay, let me just. Okay, Susanna's saying, I would like to ask again for a child I'm healing. She can't hear and is 2.5. You gave me guidance 2 weeks ago, and I'd like to know if I'm making progress. Luckily, she can hear a bit now. Okay, so you are you're saying she can hear a bit now. You are 100% making progress. Keep bringing in Archangel Raphael. Keep visualizing that her hearing is returned. Keep speaking complete health and wholeness over her life and the healing of this wound. Different people can accept healing at different rates, and it's normal when healing returns for it to return slowly, just like smell returns slowly or health returns slowly, and then one day you just are healthy, kind of like when you have the flu and you don't really realize that you're better, and then one day you just wake up and you're like, oh, it just happened. A lot of people aren't actually conscious of health returning and just aware that the pain is gone, right? Okay, Infinite Illumination saying, good morning, Sky. Hope you're doing well. What advice do the angels have to help me heal my nervous system? Okay, so immediately I'm getting Archangel Michael deck again, and we're just going to bring in some sacred geometric shapes and just give your nervous system the truth that you are safe in the arms of God. Okay, and this is definitely an I'm not enough wound. So you're going to have to slow down and do some proper hypnosis or medical intuitive technique or RTT, because there's parts of this trauma that you're not consciously aware of. There's so much anxiety in your system, and you have to work on the anxiety to heal your nervous system. Things like CBD oil, adaptogenic herbs, adaptogenic mushrooms can really help. But you're gonna have to start taking this anxiety seriously and do the work so that you're not constantly in a state of worry and stress. I'm struggling to read what's going on with the things to people. Okay. Okay, Seb. Hi, Sky. I'm having a lot of head butting with my husband for a long time. It's been so difficult to find my way to where I believe I should be. Can the angels help? Yeah, can we release the unconscious expectation on him that he's supposed to make you happy, please? You can't even make you happy. Can we release that? It's too big an expectation. And you're making him the source of your unhappiness. He's not to blame for how unhappy you are. There we go. Just pulling all that unforgiveness, all that projection. Talked about excuses and not taking responsibility. Your soulmate is not to blame for your unhappiness or you not following your divine life purpose or you not doing your spiritual and emotional work. There we go. Ooh. Okay, now here's the really difficult bit that Archangel Raphael is showing me is that you need to understand that he's not feeling loved either, right? It's not like you are doing a good job and he's doing a bad job. He doesn't feel understood by you. He doesn't feel loved by you. So can we release this part of you that thinks that you are the one that's suffering and he's not, so you can actually have compassion? Because he's looking for you and he can't find you. Okay, and then there's respect stuff coming up, like you've stopped respecting him. So can we download you with Creator's perspective, definition, understanding of respected, being respected, and respecting others, and making your definition the same as Creator's? Can we give you Creator's perspective, definition, understanding of unconditional respect? Because it's who you are. Okay, that's looking a lot better. I'm going to bring in the rest of the cherubs, Archangel Shamuel and the romance angels, and just pour so much golden light into that relationship. Can we also free you guys from using anger as connection instead of facing the vulnerability of getting to know each other now and falling in love with who you guys are now? It's really hard to admit that you're sleeping next to a stranger, especially if that person is your husband or wife, but it's true for more than us, more of us than we would like to admit. And you can't fall in love with this person if you won't start from where you are. So let's show you that it's safe. And that you're not the same either. Okay, that's looking much better. Okay. Mahara is saying, Skylar, I need help with my health. Do the angels have any guidance for me? Okay, green food, green food, green food. Archangel Raphael is literally surrounding me with like a raw vegan diet. They're like, the inflammation in your body is too high. The amount of emotional stress you're under is too great. Your diet is just not where it needs to be for the level that you want to play in life at. So they're really showing me green food, green food, green food, green food, as much green food as you can possibly get in you to start reversing this inflammation and getting all these toxins pulled out of your body, darling. There should be green food, green food, green food, green food, living food, living food, living food, living food. Paula Fitzpatrick is saying, hi, Sky. This is my first time asking for your help. Okay. I'm struggling to release fear relating to an abusive relationship from 20 years ago. I feel my life is being suffocated. I want to be free. He's watching both myself and my daughter online. Thank you. Let me do a quick scan. So I'm going to just start by bringing in so much unconditional love. Archangel Michael, and I'm going to place a hedge of protection around you and your daughter. Ooh. Okay, so the angels are showing me, like, I don't, you guys know me, I don't normally go this far, but the angels are showing me you need to get a restraining order. You need to report cyberbullying and cyber stalking. You need to take that role of that fierce mother bear energy and not be afraid of setting boundaries and putting legal blocks in place to protect you and to protect your daughter. Um, Being free is a state of mind. Okay. Trust me. Trust me when I say this. Being free is a state of mind. So, what you have to work on is releasing the fear. That doesn't mean you're not aware. That doesn't mean you're not careful. But let me put it this way: before you even knew he existed, there were dangerous men in the world. You didn't walk around in fear of them, right? There will always be dangerous people in the world. There will always be dangerous situations in the world. When you have God by your side, nothing can harm you as long as you follow your divine guidance, right? So it's that energy of listening to your divine intuition, but letting go of the fear. So, anywhere where anyone's holding fear of dangerous people, can we let it go? There's nothing more dangerous than God, trust me. And that you will be divinely protected. But you have to start talking to the situation about just how powerful God is and that God will fight your battles for you. But we have to release the fear. There we go. I'm getting goosebumps. Ooh, breathe. We have to release the fear and replace it with faith. And then we have to take divine action. Ooh. Okay. Hi, Sky. I'm drawn to living by the water, sea, lake, river. I am, however, unsure if it's going to be in the UK or another country. Any advice would be very much appreciated. I'm really getting UK. Like immediately when I asked, I saw the UK flag come up for you. Um, yeah, I'm really getting guided by Archangel Raphael to stay in the UK. So there you go. Okay, I cannot be your surrogate mother. Someone's saying, yes, yes, Skylar, please be our surrogate mother for our highest and good and to fully heal completely in the highest and best way. God is your surrogate mom. Can we connect you to your divine mother? I can't be your surrogate mom. I have my own wounds. I would only parent you from my wounding. I have my own mother wounds. Let's give it to God. God, you have a divine mother. Bring in Mother Mary. There we go. Okay, hi Skylar. I feel really blocked and can't seem to find my way in life in general. Okay, my love, the core belief is I can't change anything. Like I'm powerless to change my life. So can we release the belief that you're powerless and replace it with the belief that you're powerful? Now, the only way to move forward is to make a decision. The other thing that's holding you back is that you don't want to fail. And there's no way. Every decision will have benefits and drawbacks and will, give you benefits in one area, but have challenges in others. So can we show you that it's time to take your power back and that stop waiting for someone to come and do it for you? Get out your little manifestation journal and write down what you want. And once you've done that, you will know whether or not you are moving daily in the direction of your dreams or whether you're not. Okay. But then it's not, I'm stuck. It's, I'm choosing not to take divine action. And it changes the conversation. Okay. Hi, I would like to ask about my divine life partner. I've been manifesting for quite some time. Can you ask about the time and if there are any blocks on the way? You are isolated. They're really showing me that you're isolated. You need some kind of a hobby. You're not going to meet them in a shopping center or in um a supermarket. Like they're showing me that you need a hobby. You need a place to make consistent long-term connections, and they're showing me you need to get involved in your community. That might mean that you're regularly helping out with um a choir or a kids football group or the lifeboat or the fire engines or the Rotary Society, but you need to get involved in your community to start making some long-term connections with other people that are actually actually into service. Hi, Skylar. I just turned 50 and would like guidance on the second half of my life. The first half, I accomplished my goals and I truly want to help people heal. My love, you already know you're a spiritual teacher. Now it's about showing up on a daily basis, building your connection with the people you're supposed to serve, and sharing what God is telling you to share on a regular basis and trusting the process. I'll give you an example. So Louise Hay was, in her 50s when she moved to LA, and she didn't have any clients when she moved, and that was before the internet. So what she would do, she'd sit on the beach and she'd say, "Thank you, God, for giving me this holiday, because I know that my clinic is going to be full soon, and then I'm not going to have time to sit and rest on the beach." Right? And then that's exactly what manifested. So it's focusing on your thoughts. And really making sure that if you're saying you want to be a spiritual teacher, you want to be famous, you want to be recognized for your work, you want to be praised for your work, then that's what you put down and that's what you aim for. Now you're here to leave a legacy, but it does mean showing up and being more visible and trusting the process. Barbara Pennising, I've been practicing Reiki to heal tree, plants, animals, and cats. Am I progressing? Yes, you are. You really are. The angels are showing me that you used to be able to hold about this much energy, and now you're taking up like at least a whole room, like a proper whole room, and you will by the end of the month be able to take up like a whole field energetically and hold that kind of space. So you're doing really good. Okay, Samantha, this is a big question. I'm having some big changes in my life, health, career, and love. Am I on the correct path in all three areas? I don't think you're on the right path career-wise. It feels burnout and exhaustion territory to me. Um, Love life feels like you're making the right decision. Health, you and I both know you're neglecting it, and your angels are like changing diet, really focusing on needing to release food addictions as well. So I hope that helps, my love. Um, I actually love and dance Latino, but will ask for what you advised. Yeah, you need, okay, so I'm sorry, but the dancing crowd is not exactly the most committed crowd. So you need people that are more like more service related. Um, Dancing is fun, but it's most people that are, especially men that are into dancing, are there for the girls. They're not there for commitment, right? So and there's always more women than there are men. It creates a weird dynamic. You need like, and you can't really talk. Dancing Latino is very sexual, but it's not really a place to have conversation. There's loud music, there's chemistry involved. You need a place where you can get to know other people, right? And often loud dancing, as much as I love dancing, I mean, I love Latino as much as you, it's not a good place to figure out if somebody is a spiritual match. Okay. I'm going to do our closing prayer. If you want to join Medical Intuitive, we are going for it in January. CART closes December 1st, and our discovery calls are booking up thick and fast. If you just literally drop me a message, whether it's here or Instagram or Facebook, and we can have a conversation figuring out whether or not you really are supposed to be a medical intuitive. Because if you are, then we have work to do. Okay? O Great Spirit, Father Sky, Mother Earth, the winds, the waters, my Father, my Mother, Atanaha, all that is. We thank you for our lives, and we thank you for these good, good people. We thank you for all that we are and all that we are to become. We dedicate our time spent together and our relationships with one another to you. We ask that our suffering be ended and our pain be lifted to the love and to the peace that lay beyond. Aho, Amen, Namaste. See you guys at the immune system whispering tonight. Bye.